Well, today we're taking a rather short hike, though I expect it to be a very interesting one. I've been wanting to do this hike for a while, but it's been such a dry summer, I didn't think we were going to have enough water in the river. We're at Cataract Falls, near Collinet on the Avalon Peninsula. Consisting mainly of short trails and stairs. This is two falls that actually come together in a gorge. We're expecting a bit of rain today, so I didn't want to do anything too long. This one here keeps us close to the road. It is a beautiful place that we haven't been to yet. Here's the bridge from the main road. Literally stuck right onto the side of the cliff. Amazing how much this actually drops off here. Many years ago, I'm going to say back in the 1970s, I was just a child, and I can remember coming here with my family. I don't think that there were any steps here then. I believe it was basically trails coming down through the woods. And I don't know if we even got down to the bottom as we're getting now. So the main falls is actually over around the corner here, underneath the highway. And the second one comes from the trail itself, which we just came along a few minutes ago. You know, I've right around this area here now in the past 20 minutes, half an hour. I haven't seen a single soul. So I was looking, trying to decide where's a good spot to have a boil up. Well, right here is as good as any. Right here, on this little bridge that crosses the river. We're going to get our little stove going, and this is where we're going to have a boil up. Now I did see a couple picnic tables up above there, tucked away in the woods, among the tall grass, and really not a place where I want to have a boil up, especially with shorts on. So this is the spot right here. We're going to boil the kettle, have a little snack. We got our trusty little stove on the go here. water in here. How was the sound? You guys hear me okay? Yes? Yeah, okay. Let's get our stove going. Put the kettle on there. Put the top on so it will boil a little bit quicker. Yes, I did remember my cup this time. Didn't last time we had a boil up, I believe it was, which wasn't the last video because we didn't get a chance to have a boil up on a couple of the last ones. The tea bag goes in the kettle. So, these containers that I keep complaining about, I thought I found the problem. These are some containers that I bought off Amazon to put my milk in for my tea. And ever since I got them, there was 2 in the pack, they leak. Every time. I thought I found the problem. Looked like the gasket in it wasn't tight enough, wasn't thick enough. So I put 2 gaskets on this one today. Look what I got. It leaked. So we will have milk in our tea today, but we're going to have to find another solution for the milk. Lunch is going to be an apple today and a bit of pudding I have there. This is so nice down here. Looking up at the water. Just watching the water coming down through the crevices in the rock. So nice. I was not sure what amount of water we were going to have here today. We've had some very dry weather. Many of our ponds have extremely large beaches on them now because the water is so low. And after last night, we did have a major system move through last night. We had a lot of rain, thunder, lightning, very unusual for this area. I figured there'd be a lot of water on here today. I thought it would be rushing through. But as I drove over here, I noticed that many of the ponds are still very low. I guess the ground was so dry that it absorbed most of that water. But this is not bad. This is not bad. It's what I'll call a good trickle of water. How's that doing? Still. You know, I really don't think too many tourists know anything about this place. If they did, I'm sure there'd be a lot more people here now. This is well inland, so it's not by the coast. And there's not much here other than a walkway, a few picnic tables. I'm not even sure if you're actually allowed to camp here, though I'm sure. Now, usually I've got to go look for a stick to hold these handles because they tend to get hot. I got my little pliers on me today. They'll do the job just fine. Let's get ourselves a drop of tea. There we go. That's good tea. My father always said that you have your best cup of tea in the woods. We used to always throw the tea bags in the kettle, and it would usually be on an open fire. And lots of times, you get some little sprigs from the trees, and the fire crackling and so on. You get a few little tiny bits of wood or something in the kettle. You'd be drinking your tea and little tiny sprigs in that. Well, I was at a good friend of mine at his house back a couple years ago. Probably 3 years ago now. He passed away a couple years ago. We were out in his driveway working on a small camper that he had bought. His wife came out and she said, "Would you guys like a drop of tea?" That sounds good. A drop of tea always sounds good to a Newfoundlander. So a few minutes later, she came out. She had 2 cups of tea. I tasted mine and looked at it pretty hard. She said, "What's wrong with that?" I said, "Well, I thought I was going to get a cup of tea that was like a cup of tea in the woods." Well, before I knew it, she had grabbed a handful of sprigs from a tree and dropped in my cup. "Now," she said, "you've got your cup of tea in the woods." Well, I drank it. She laughed at me. You know, I miss my buddy. That was Rod. He's a good soul. So glad that I'm still in touch with Pat, his wife. Everybody needs that bit of support in their life. It's good to have good people around you. I'm going to finish off my tea now and get things packed up. We're going to head out of here. I've got a bit of a drive to get back home, and well, my brother, my sister, myself, and possibly somebody else. We're going for a game of golf this afternoon. Got to get the exercise. Anything like this, like golfing, hiking, it's all good for you. And these days, we need that more than ever. So we'll see you on the trail on the way up. Another view of the river as it winds down through. Well, it may not have been a long hike, but it wasn't too bad. All those stairs, and we did finally get a chance to have our boil up. So that was nice. The sky is starting to brighten a little bit. Light breeze in the air. take care of yourselves, all right? Stay safe. And we'll see you next time.